Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. Having a good time in the studio talking about the financial markets, how the institutions, or we call it the smart money, the big money, are how they're moving the markets. And Al was explaining why us as retail investors, everyday people, why we want to identify what they're doing and trade like them, not against them. But you'll have to have a proven strategy,
right,
a core strategy that's designed to follow those institutions. And that's what Online Trading Academy has, is a core strategy that is designed to make smarter investing decisions. We had a lot of people coming into this investing class this past week. And these new people that have been texting in here today, congratulations for those of you that have been texting in for this class. If you did miss that, it's a free investing class, local at our academies. And they're about 2 hours here right in Bloomington, real easy to find. We have a state-of-the-art facility here, 3 different classrooms. And our classes that we do here are all hands-on, in person, for you to learn how to trade and invest in the markets. You can text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 seats for this class. When you do that, we're going to make sure we get you a call back. You'll receive a text first with a day. We'll make sure we get the right date and time for you when we call you back to get that on. That works the best on your schedule. So just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this investing class. Al teaches these. I teach these as well. And we have a great time. We have these during the week, typically in the morning, but we also have them in the evenings during the week. So those people that work during the day can still attend that in the evening. If you're looking to change your financial situation, we also have these on the weekends as well. So pretty much anybody can attend these free investing classes. For those of you that want to make a change with what's going on with your life. So Al, in that last segment, as I mentioned, we're talking about how to follow the institutions, how to trade like them, and base your decisions off of facts, not opinions. And it was pretty funny. I had asked you about your opinion in the market, and you just refused to answer that because it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I'm glad you did that, because now our listeners understand opinions, everybody has them, just like other things. What you want to do is focus on the facts, and where you find those facts is a price chart, a candlestick price chart. And just kind of going back a few weeks now, we're taking a road down memory lane about, I think it was between 4 to 6 weeks ago, we talked about a trading opportunity. It was Appl.
Right.
And I believe it was it was towards the beginning part of February. And we had an opportunity that we talked about at about $145, $144 area. There was a zone that our OTA picks have identified. It was a long, and the trade finally happened. So it was 2/15, so February 15th, this OTA pick was presented for us, okay? And about, I believe it was several days later when the trade actually had filled, okay? So what that means is, how we train our students how to trade and invest is find the opportunities, but where there's opportunities that are given to you as well, trading opportunities, but wait for a price to come to there. A lot of people say, I was having a conversation with one of my family members recently, and they said, hey, what are you going to do with the stock market? Are you going to be buying or selling? I said, I don't know, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, but I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do when price gets to this point, because you don't just want to buy or sell for no particular reason. So that's why we set our trades up in advance, wait for price to come to us, and then the computer will actually execute automatically for you. It'll actually buy for you and sell for you. So in this particular one, it was about 8.5 points target here that was reached here. I believe it was on the 9th of March. So it was within just under a month. So a lot of people think you got to be glued to your computer screen to trade and invest. So this was about a month roughly where that trade happened. There's nothing for you to do because you're protected on both ends, and the computer executes that automatically for you. And that's why we're seeing so many people, Al, come to the academy, is because they want to learn that strategy where if they work during the day or in the evening, they can set their trades up in advance and let them work for them while they're out and about. So I want you to kind of break that down a little bit more as far as how do you make your decisions and then walk away from your computer comfortably.
You have to start by first, before you even enter a trade, know when you're going to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 times that you're going to get out of a trade. One is if you're wrong, you have to learn how to do that before you have a loss that hurts you. And the second one is get out when you have a profit. And one of the mistakes that people make, and the reason that they're not as profitable as they could be, is they don't know how to take a profit. When you buy something and it starts going up, how do you decide when you're going to take a profit? Where's your target, your profit target? In order to do that in a way where you're not getting out too soon, leaving profit on the table, so to speak, or getting out too late and letting profit be taken away from you, you have to have a way of kind of factually, realistically identifying where that profit is, where the maximum profit is. And you do that by identifying, Josh mentioned zone when he was talking about Appl. The area where we bought Appl was what we call a demand zone. That's an area where on a price chart we've identified where we know there are institutional buyers waiting to become active. Well, there's also a supply zone, or let's call it a sell zone, where there are institutional sell orders getting ready to hit the market. You want your target to be just before that zone. So you get out when the institutions start to drive the price the opposite direction. And how do we do that? How do we know where the institutional orders are? They show us. And they show us on a price chart because of the way they have to trade. We take advantage of that. And if you come into these classes that Josh is talking about, we'll show you how that works. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about. But if the institutions are driving price, wouldn't it make sense just to be able to find what they're doing, when they're going to become active, and just follow them? One of the things that you have to do, so I mentioned that you first, before you enter a trade, you have to know when you're going to get out. And then the most important thing is the right price that you find to enter a trade, because that is going to determine the quality of your risk management and also the amount of profit that you can make on a particular trade.
Yep, and just for our live YouTube listeners that are watching the show here today as well, I'm kind of illustrating what Al is talking about on that price chart with Appl, where it was the area right around 145, and then that supply area right around 151, the exit like he was talking about.
Yeah, here's, I think, an important point. That was a trade. That was a short-term trade that we made. Most people, when you go into the market, and if you go into a financial advisor, they're going to look at the amount of money you have and say, we have to get it into the market right now, regardless of what the price is. They don't really take that into consideration. Just get into the market and just let it ride. Well, Appl, back at the end of 2021, was trading around $180 a share. It subsequently then went down to in the 120s. Now it's trading right around $160,
$160, according to the day that we're doing the show, depending on when you listen to it.
Yeah, around $160. So what if you had bought it back when it was $180?
Yeah,
and you just held on. Well, it will eventually end up getting to 180 or much higher than that. But look at the time that went by. You're talking about well over a year where you haven't made money and probably have lost money on Appl if you were long-term holding it. There's trading opportunities. Josh mentioned a relatively short-term one. Well, we might find during that time period from 2021 to now, we might have found 5 or 6 or 7 different trading opportunities where you could have taken a nice profit and then reinvested that in either Appl again or any of the other stocks that also have these nice movements that we look for.
Yeah, just looking at the chart, too, they're looking back at that 2021, there was already some zones or areas that were already mapped out here,
right?
That potential opportunities that are out there. So there's more than just one opportunity, and that's what we're seeing so many people come to the Academy for, is how to take advantage of these market moves, how to take advantage of the volatility, which I had kind of kicked the show off here today with, is this great volatility that we're seeing in these markets. So people that are looking for those income strategies, now is the best time to do that. But you got to learn how. You have to learn how to read that price chart that we're talking about and really have guidance on how to make your financial decisions. So if you want to come into one of these investing classes, they're about 2 hours long, and they're right here in Bloomington, real easy to find right off 494. We also have classes in Maple Grove from time to time and also in Woodbury. So if you want to come to one of these free investing classes on learning the different income strategies, just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats. That's text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this investing class local at our academies. So Al, with people that are looking for different income strategies in the markets and people that are working during the day, they feel, I just don't have the time. Well, everybody has the same 24 hours, right? And if there are opportunities and strategies that are designed to really take your timing issue out of that, it's just you haven't been taught them yet. So just kind of clarify and walk through what a trade looks like when someone does their analysis. I mean, analysis, depending on your skill level, can be done in minutes, right? So explain what that looks like to place a trade. If you're looking for a income strategy, what that looks like, and then why would you want to walk away from that trade as well?
Well, let me start with that. Why you would want to walk away from it as far as having placed the trade is because you want to remove the weakest link in your trading, and that's you. It's the emotional component that we all have as human beings. The psychological part of trading is what really impacts negatively most people that are in the markets. So you need to be able to walk away from a trade that you are looking at getting into, having it we call preset. So once you have looked at a price chart, first of all, you have to give the education to be able to identify it, and then have the skills to be able to use that education. Those are components of how we teach here. It's not just the knowledge, but it's skills on how to use the knowledge. I think Josh mentioned the word guidance. You need guidance. You need to have somebody who can watch what you're doing, critique you if you're doing things wrong, show you why you did something wrong, and if you're doing things right, let's concentrate more on that. But if you can preset a trade, have the education to be able to identify a proper entry point, and as I mentioned, before you do that, you have to know when you're going to get out. So you have set part of that trade to get you out if you're wrong with a small loss. That's part of your risk management, and also out with hopefully a large profit. Then you can walk away and just let the software do the trading for you. So what if you work during the day and the stock market's open 6.5 hours during the day? Well, there are assets that trade almost 24 hours a day. The Forex market, the foreign exchange market, trades 24 hours a day. The futures market, almost 24 hours a day. So that gives you a lot of versatility there as to when you want to do this. But regardless of how you're doing it or what you're trading, what your time frame is, you're going to use the same strategy. And that strategy that we teach, we call it core strategy. We go into detail on that in these classes that Josh is mentioning. That is the engine that drives everything for our students. Core strategy is what's going to help you build the skills, have the knowledge and the skills to know how to identify that price, whether you're getting in to go long, in other words, have price go up in value for you, or you're playing the other side of the market, the downside, the short side, where you want the price to go down.
Yep.
That's all on a price chart. You just have to have the education to be able to do that and the confidence of knowing that you're using a strategy that has been proven to work.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people are really looking for, like you mentioned with those 24-hour markets, is flexibility. That way you're flexible with your time, because I know you've been talking with a lot of people here at the Academy, and I have as well. And with people that are looking for flexibility, they want more freedom of time. Mm-hmm. And when you have markets or an income strategy that allows you to do that, that's where quality of life comes into play. People want a better quality of life. They don't want to be stuck to a job. They don't want to be stuck to just one income source or strategy. They want to have multiple, and that's what we're seeing a lot of people want to identify is what is that strategy? How do you place those strategies on top of your job? Don't just quit your job, because how you build wealth.
Do that.
Yeah, how you build wealth is having multiple strategies. Right. And that's the key, and that's what we really dive into in these different investing classes that we do here locally. So I want to do a couple things. Let's do this. We're looking for 20 people. So 20 people that want to text in right now, and 20 people in the metro area, surrounding cities here, Minneapolis, Bloomington, Maple Grove, Eden Prairie, Woodbury, wherever you live. We're looking for 20 people in the metro area that want to change their financial situation. Text in right now for 2 seats for a free investing class to see what those strategies are and to see if that even works for you based on what your lifestyle looks like. So text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this investing class. Looking for 20 people in the metro area. Text right now. Text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for an investing class to see what you can do to change that life if that's what your goal is. Coming up next, we're going to talk about 401k and IRA strategies and maybe just having a better conversation with your broker. Right. This is Josh and Al. We will be right back.